Good morning. My name's Dave Williams, and I'm one of the elders and pastor at Bearwood Chapel. And I work alongside Hannah as part of the staff team. It's been lovely over the past few months to have the opportunity in the morning at 11s to stop and reflect and pray with John and Hannah. We're very thankful to both of you for providing this opportunity for us to do this. And one of the best things has been the opportunity to look at Psalms. In fact, through lockdown, this has been one of the exciting things for me, the recovery of spending time in the Psalms. We've done that at morning and evening prayer as well. That has been one of the great things. I've also just been awestruck as I've had the opportunity to look out into our garden. And I don't know whether it's just having more time to stop and to look, being around a bit more, or whether the reduction in traffic and noise and pollution has had a hand in this. But I've just been amazed to see the variety of wildlife in our garden. Foxes out playing, birds and butterflies and insects around, different varieties and species that I've not seen before, flowers in bloom. It's been amazing. Or to just be captivated one evening as a double rainbow stands in the sky in stark contrast to the darkness of an impending thunderstorm. Taking a walk in the park by the lake and seeing a swan, a mother swan with the babies, and she's carrying some of them on her back, and others are learning to swim to paddle behind her. Those things are things that just make you pause and say, wow. We might say that we are seeing the re-enchantment of nature. Each Sunday night, one of the Psalms we've come back to is this one, Psalm 4. It says, "Answer me when I call to you, my righteous God. Give me relief from my distress. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer. How long will you people turn my glory into shame? How long will you love delusions and seek false gods? Know that the Lord has set apart his faithful servant for himself. The Lord hears when I call to him. Tremble and do not sin when you are on your beds. Stretch your hearts and be silent. Offer the sacrifices of the righteous and trust in the Lord. Many, Lord, are asking, who will bring us prosperity? Let the light of your face shine on us. Fill my heart with joy when their grain and new wine abound. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." Verse 4 says, "Tremble and do not sin," or as we've been reading it in the liturgy we've used, "Stand in awe and sin not." Those are the same words, by the way, that Paul picks up on Ephesians, and because Hebrew words can have a variety of meanings, a range of interpretation, some translations, including the Greek, the Septuagint, translated it as "be angry and do not sin," and Paul uses that later to say that we should not become sinful, bitter, and hateful, even when we are righteously angry at things. But that broad range of meaning also includes trembling, being fearful or reverent, quivering, and being awestruck, standing in awe, lost in wonder and amazement. And I think that is probably the most helpful reading of that verse in the context here. Because in verse 1 we see that this is David calling out to God, as he so often does in the Psalms, in his distress, in his own awareness of his sin and his failings, saying, Lord, will you answer me? Will you give me relief? Will you have mercy on me? Will you hear me when I pray? It's a prayer that arises because verse 2 and 3, we see that people are actually turning away from God. They turn my glory into shame. They become idolatrous. They seek after other gods. And yes, I guess that the response to that could be anger. But also a response to that could be the temptation to become idolatrous ourselves. Stand in awe and sin not. Do not sin. Do not get hooked on idolatry. Instead, trust in the Lord, verse 5. Learn to depend on him for everything you need, verse 6 and 7. Let the light of your face shine on us, fill my heart with joy, and find peace and comfort in him. In peace I will lie down and sleep, verse 8. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. This psalm is a great help, and that's why it's used in night prayer for those of us that at times are restless and struggle to find peace and to sleep well. And I want to suggest that that comes back as well to these words: stand in awe and do not sin. I think that the coronavirus pandemic and the lockdown, if it has done one helpful thing for us, it has taught us, reminded us of how easily we depend on other things. And that's what idolatry is. That's what sin is. It means looking away from God and instead finding my hope, my security, my peace, my sense of identity in other things, how popular I am with other people, how successful I am at work, financial prosperity, the entertainment that I enjoy, even the praise of others. And we become dependent on those things. And we think that those are the things that give meaning and satisfaction. But we constantly find that those things become addictive and we can never have enough. And so we become more restless and discontent. We struggle with peace and with sleep. But also we are neglecting God when we do that. We love delusions. We seek false gods. I have been captivated again as I've looked out at this world, and as all of those things that I could depend upon have been stripped away, I have seen again that the God who is my creator and the creator of this wonderful world is also an awesome, loving, eternal Father. It would be also tempting to be so struck by that wonder and awe of creation that actually we begin to worship that. We become so fascinated by its beauty that that becomes the priority as well, just seeking to see beauty and getting my satisfaction from that. But actually the purpose of being captivated by these wonderful, beautiful things is not so that I put my trust in them and find my satisfaction in them, but again and again I am reminded that this is my Father's world. God made it. And the God who makes those foxes who run around my garden carefree and the birds nesting in the trees, the God who made them, and as Jesus said, makes them and the plants so that they don't worry and they're not anxious about where the next meal is coming from or how well dressed they're going to be. They have that carefreeness because God provides and looks after. Well, that same God made you and me and promises to look after us day to day. He gives us everything we need, and he gives us what we need most of all, peace. The peace that comes from knowing that God, the righteous God, does answer and has mercy, that in Jesus Christ and his death and resurrection has acted to bring reconciliation between me and God, peace with God, peace with myself and peace with others that comes from the forgiveness that the gospel offers. Stand in awe and sin not. I want to encourage you again through these Psalms, as we reflect each morning at 11 and at the other times that we have to pause during the day on the chapel Facebook site. I want to encourage you to find that you can trust God, delight in him, enjoy his goodness, rest in his peace and forgiveness. Thank you.